My name is Curtis Lowe. I am the manager of the Credit Unions Division here at the Financial Services Commission. I have been with the division from inception. What I have enjoyed most about being with the division has been, firstly, the opportunity to build out the division and the team, and secondly, the opportunity to work with my team of dedicated young professionals who have done a yeoman job in terms of the supervision and regulation of the credit union sector and building up the standards that they adhere to. A credit union is a financial cooperative, meaning it is owned and democratically governed by its members. A credit union has members and not customers or clients, so it only does business with its members who are the owners of the credit union and who also utilize the financial services offered by the credit union and also benefit from any profits which the credit union generates in terms of interest paid on deposits or dividends paid on shares. Sure. There are basically 7 cooperative principles. So in summary, the key principles would be the membership factor with respect to credit unions serving members and also members helping members. So in credit unions, they're self-funded, meaning you have net savers who basically provide funds for on lending to borrowers. Also, credit unions are democratically controlled, meaning regardless of the number of shares you hold, you have one vote. So there is no majority shareholder in a credit union. Also, credit unions are not for profit. This does not mean that they do not or should not make a profit, but the objective is not to maximize the profit, but to make sufficient to meet costs and also build and retain sufficient capital. Also, or finally I should say, credit unions are also about education. So it's not just about offering financial services, but also offering training and educational opportunities to members. Actually, credit unions play an integral role in Barbados' domestic financial space. Credit unions, firstly, have assets under management in excess of 3 billion Barbadian dollars. This represents the life savings of many low-income persons. These funds have been used to generate loans to those same members to help them to improve their circumstances. The importance of credit unions is emphasized through the provision of financial services to over 200,000 persons. Financial services including the provision of debit cards, online transfer facilities, and also larger credit unions which have the capacity, given their size, complexity, and economies of scale, offering those services to smaller credit unions consistent with the cooperative principle so that a wide cross-section of credit union members can benefit from the provision of electronic services. The Commission plays a very critical role in ensuring that credit unions manage risk appropriately. The Commission has an on-site program in terms of examinations where they make assessments of the adequacy of risk management practices. Coming out of those examinations, recommendations are made, action plans are developed, and there is ongoing monitoring to ensure that deficiencies in risk management are appropriately remediated. The Commission also has an off-site monitoring program which has a focus on financial performance and also a forward-looking component. So where there are signs of potential challenges or elevated risk within a credit union, the Commission is able to intervene at an early stage to ensure that those challenges or that heightened risk is addressed before it develops into a problem which can negatively impact the solvency of the credit union. The subject of independent directors in credit unions has become very topical, especially since the issuance of the FSC's Consolidated Corporate Governance Guideline. Now, persons have asked, how can a credit union comply with the guideline given that it's a member-based organization and persons or directors are elected through a democratic process where each member has one vote? Now, the FSC is very cognizant of the characteristics of credit unions and particularly the cooperative principles. In constructing the guideline, the Commission ensured that credit unions, given their current model, would be able to comply. So we have determined that the definition of an independent director is sufficiently broad to accommodate credit unions. What the Commission has done is to ensure that qualified members of a credit union can be elected as directors. We have defined independent to mean a person who has not served for more than 10 years in elected office, a person who has not worked at the financial institution within a specified period of time, a person who does not have an immediate relative employed at the institution. We have done this firstly recognizing, as I would have said before, credit unions have become very important in our domestic financial landscape, and the whole question of governance and risk management has come to the fore, and appropriate standards must be in place, which means that appropriate persons must be at the helm of these institutions. Independent directories are also facilitated under the Corporate Societies Act. The Act requires that the President and the Secretary be elected officers. So even within the legislation, there is provision for credit unions to appoint persons to their boards who are not elected and who can serve as independent directors once they meet that criteria. Historically, some credit unions have benefited from those provisions by appointing persons to their boards who had the requisite skills to assist them with their risk management and also elevating their corporate governance standards.